This is General Hand Grenade. Welcome to my war room in Prince George, British Columbia. So we have reached the spring of 1917, which means that we may find out the fate of the Imperial Russians. We'll see if they become commies this turn. There's a pretty good chance of a 50-50 chance actually, because of the amount of territories they lost and the random event that was just drawn on the American turn, which adds 2 to the German roll, or 2 for the Germans to the revolution roll. But before we get to that, there's one thing I need to do. So the Japanese, when they attacked the Philippine Islands, they rolled for the coastal artillery. They rolled 2 dice and they missed. But the problem was I forgot about the transport. They were supposed to roll for the transport as well. So I owe them one roll. I've got it in here. It's 1 roll at 3. And if this doesn't, if this hits, then I got to go back and redo part of it. So 6, thank goodness. Okay, so we can move on. While I'm here, let's just do the technology roll. So I've got 3 dice. I'm going to go for counter battery fire, hurricane bombardment, and improved logistics. And that'll be pink, blue, and purple in that order. So here we go. Big numbers. Okay, only one big number. So that would be the last one, which is improved logistics. And that will go to stage 2 for the Germans. Okay, let's take a look at what we got here. Actually, no, it's not Germany's turn yet. Sorry. It's the Russian collapse roll. So as I said here, let me just take you over there and look. So here, the Japanese have taken that territory over there. So what it is, it's territories that have been taken that are worth at least an IPP in Russia. Like that one down in North Persia doesn't count down there, because, and neither does Serbia, even though they were Russian to begin the game. That's not in Russia proper. So there's this territory here that makes 2. And then there's Warsaw and Congress Poland. That makes 4. And so we got to add 4 to the dice roll. So whatever I roll, let's say it's a 5, then that becomes a 9. But also with the random event, there was a choice that I had to make as the German player. And it was either send them to revolution right now. And that's probably something that you would do if you were losing the game. Because the other consequence to that isn't favorable to the Central Powers is that then they would have to leave. All of the Central Power units would have to leave and give the territory back to Russia, and they go to revolution. And the problem with that is that we have, 5 or 6 victory conditions that we've already achieved in Russia. I don't know if it's that many, but like it could be by the time this turn is over, right? So we'd be basically volunteering to give up the game. Like there's a reason for that choice, and that reason would be if you were losing the game, then it might be advantageous to do that. But then the other choice is just to add 2 to this roll that we're about to do. So we're already plus 4. Plus 2 is plus 6, and we need a roll of 12. So let's decide on the fate of the Russians. Let's use a red dice. Let's use the red dice. Okay, you ready? Here you go, Dawson. 7 or more and you're out of here. 6, actually a 6. Because 6 plus 6 is 12, yeah. Here we go. 11. That means the Russians are going to revolution. So sad. Okay. Now, there's a lot that is going to happen. I wish I had a sheet on me so I could tell you all about it. For one thing, the Russians aren't going to take a turn. It's not going to happen this turn. It's going to happen next turn. Because the Russians, historically, they, whatever, we don't really care, that you guys still want to fight. We're going to have a revolution. And so the Central Powers are, no, dude, you need to take us seriously, because we're still here. And so they had to attack them again. So what can happen here is that the Central Powers can attack the Russians for one more turn here. They have to attack them at least once. So they could just take one territory with, or they could even just roll one infantry against a whole stack of something just so they could say they've attacked them. But we still have a victory condition that we can get down. The Ottomans can get it. So I'm going to take a territory here. And then the Ottomans can still attack if they want. If I was the Austro-Hungarians, I wouldn't attack anymore. All you're going to be doing is losing units for no reason, right? So anyway, I am going to make an attack, actually 2 attacks. I'm going to do an attrition attack from here in Latvia to northern Belarusia. And I'm also going to move this colonial infantry in here and take southern Belarusia just so I can get that free diplomacy roll next turn. Oh, that's what I haven't done. Oh, that's because of this roll, yeah. So that's going to get me a free diplomacy roll. What else am I doing for attacks? I'm going to do an attrition attack down in South America, and I'm going to lay a mine in C-Zone A11, and I'm going to take one of these subs down here, and I'm going to force the port. And if I manage to force that port, then those 3 American transports are going to go bye-bye. All right. But before that happens, we have 1 diplomacy roll. So that is for the Netherlands. Here we go. And if they get it, then the Netherlands goes to them because they're at stage 3 right now. Here we go. 3 or less. Nope, didn't do it. Alrighty. So let's just show you what we've got here. So we have to pay 3 IPP because I have 3 fighters and I have to pay to upgrade them. So I did that. Plus 7 infantry in total, 1 naval infantry, an artillery, and 2 submarines. And of course the sea mine. Yeah, so that's it. All right. So I already showed you the attacks actually. So let's just go over here and roll those dice after I see what kind of damage I did to the board here. Oh, look at that. I didn't kill anybody. That's nice. Okay. I did make a mess, but I didn't break anything. That's the important thing. Okay, so what rolls do I have? I've got an attrition down in South America from Gran Chaco to Pampas. That's a 1 at 1, and that's a miss. Okay, then I'm gonna force the port in Normandy with my sub. So he's got 1 roll with his port defenses at 3 or less. And he missed. So that means 3 dead transports. Those are auto kills. Lucky for them, they already dropped off their cargo. Okay. So we'll just remove that. Actually, I think we're done here, aren't we? I can bring you over here. Okay. So on this turn, we are not allowed to move the Central Powers units out because that's part of our convincing them to surrender thing, because technically they haven't surrendered yet. So, I still have this attrition attack here. Okay. The only reason I'm doing the attrition attack is because those guys can't move out of here. And, you know, if I can kill some guys and give the commies less soldiers, that's a good thing, right? So let's just do that. So 2 at 1. And I missed. Okay. All right. So that's gone and that's gone. And what else? Oh, the mine, the sea mine. Let's just grab that. So that's going in Sea Zone A11. This submarine here is going to lay the sea mine in Sea Zone A11. And, oh, there was an attack down here. So that's 3 submarines that are going to convoy raid down there. Okay. Should I? I'm only going to do one of them is going to do unrestricted submarine warfare. So there's that, and we'll do the French dice and the British dice. So there we go. So they, because both of them are on that convoy line, they both have a chance with their Q ships to take me out. So black dice is German. And this is unrestricted submarine warfare with this one. In Sea Zone, M8. Here we go. So, look at that, I missed it. And they missed, okay, so that's good. And then the other 2 subs, they're just gonna do regular submarine warfare. So they're +2. So the Q ships missed, so that's 4-1, so that's 3 off of them. Here, I'll just keep track on my handy dandy kids abacus here. So 3 off plus. Q ships missed again, and this is 6-2, so that's 4 more. Nice. I didn't need that unrestricted. So 2, 4, 6, 7. I've taken 7 IPP off down there. Let me just get, let's take 3 off the French and 4 off the British. Okay, so that's done. 4 off the British and 3 off the French. And that attack is done. And this attack is done over here in South America. Okay. Oh, just a note there. In South America, I did recruitment roles for both the Chileans and the Argentinians. And hey, I hit for the Argentinians. Except there is no recruitment role because they've already been aligned. So I had to take that dude off that I put on there. Looking around just to make sure I didn't miss anything. I don't believe that I did. Okay. No, I didn't. Okay. So, non-combat moves. Well, I can't move out of Russia. I wonder if I can move the units around, but just not take them out of Russia. I can't remember if they have to stay in place or if they just have to stay in Russia. Let's look here. Okay, so I'm going to look in rules there after the turn is over. And if I'm allowed to move them, but just not out of Russia, these can't move, of course. So I have to leave at least one in the space. So I'd leave this guy here. I move these guys here to this space. And that's it. That's all I would do. If I can. I don't know that I can or can't, but we'll see. Yeah. Okay, so then my ships here. I have to leave the sub because he laid that mine. But I got 2 destroyers and a pre-dread and a cruiser in Sea Zone A11. They're going to come over here to Sea Zone A12 and join the rest of the Navy. And while I'm looking at it here, so the Dreadnought did not move. I have damaged Dreadnought there. So because he is at a shipyard there, he's going to be repaired now. I'll just do that now while I've got my hands all over this. There we go. And that guy's got to stay. That guy's got to stay. What do I got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to move 2 infantry from Western Germany to Bavaria. Okay. And oh, this is supposed to be off. I think I better leave those guys in Rome. Yeah, that's all I'm going to do. Okay, so I'm going to place a sub right here with this Navy and C zone A12, and I'm going to place the other sub in C zone M6. He will be in port at the submarine base in M6. Am I on camera there? So right here, he's going to be in port here. There we go. And let's go back this way. So the naval infantry is going to go into Western Germany. And 2 infantry will go in Western Germany. And 3 infantry will go into Bavaria. So I've added 5 infantry in total to Bavaria right now. If you include the ones that were non-combat moved over. And I will also place 1 artillery in Bavaria, bringing that up to 15 regular artillery. That leaves me with 2 infantry. Okay, let's put them both. Let's put one of them in Berlin, and the other one will go to Buenos Aires. So that means that I have 3 infantry and an artillery in Buenos Aires. Okay. Now, that better just take a look. The consequences of not taking a really close look isn't as bad as in the 36 game, because that game you have to watch out for paratroopers. That's something that is just unforgivable. You leave your capital open, but here there's no blitzing and no paratroopers, so you're a little safer. Okay, so let's count up the money. Oh, there is one roll before I do that. In Mexico, the federales, they get a recruitment roll, and it's a 2 or less. And a 5. Okay. So let's look at the Germany sitting at 39, plus the Netherlands is 40. Where are we? Yeah, Netherlands is 40. And they've got 3 bonus, so that's 43, plus wartime economy. So 43 plus 7 is 50. That's better than last turn. Okay, 50 even. Here we go. Let's do our disposition. Okay, so the Russians, they're fucked. And the Germans, they've got a fighter, 5 infantry, 2 artillery in Grodno province. They got 5 infantry, 2 artillery, and a Jaeger in Latvia, 2 colonial infantry in Estonia, 1 colonial infantry in southern Belarusia, 4 infantry and 2 artillery in Lithuania. Oh, there was a commander also in Grodno. A colonial infantry and armored car in Warsaw, a colonial infantry in Congress, Poland. The Navy, there's a transport and port in Western Germany, and let's see, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 infantry, a naval infantry, and 5 trucks in Western Germany, plus the submarine and the naval mine in A11. There's also a submarine in A21. There's an infantry in Berlin, and let's see here, 5, 10, 15, 20, 22, and 5 is 27 infantry, 15 artillery, 3 heavy artillery, a commander, a tank, 2 trench fighters, 4 balloons, and 2 fighters, 2 1917 fighters, phosgene gas, all in Bavaria. Okay, just show you that in case you're more visual. There we go. And there's the Navy. Okay. Oh, I forgot these guys too. Norway has 2 infantry and a militia in southern Norway, and an infantry in Lapland. Okay. And here we have 1 militia in Chile, 3 infantry and an artillery, and a transport and port in Buenos Aires, 7 infantry and an artillery in Gran Chaco, 1 infantry in Patagonia. And the Federales have 3 infantry, 2 militia in Chihuahua, and 1 militia in Baja. There's 3 subs in M8. There's 1 sub in the submarine base in port in Thessaly. There's 2 infantry in Rome, pre-dread, and a transport in port in Bosnia, 2 infantry in Thessaly, 2 infantry in southern Greece, and over here, these were not changed. So there's an infantry in Burma and a colonial infantry in Bengal. I don't think I've ever told you, but there's a German guy over there in Eastern Ireland. And I guess there's these 2 German guys as well in Caroline and Kaiser Wilhelm land. So there we go. Now you're up to date. I think I've done everything I'm supposed to do. Although every time I think that, I've made 2 or 3 mistakes. So the guys will let me know though. Hey, you weren't supposed to do that. Yeah, okay. That's it. So off to the Berta's turn. Take care, everyone. Oh, I'll just tell you, I only moved on improved logistics up to stage 2, and the diplomacy did not move. So take care, everyone. General Hand Grenade out.